Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to put together is a chocolate chip pound cake. This particular pound cake doesn't come out like your traditional, really heavy, really dense. It comes out almost and tastes like a chocolate chip cookie, believe it or not. So let's get started. With a large bowl, we're going to cream 1½ cups of unsalted butter that I've had at room temperature. That was 1½ cups of unsalted. Now I'm going to use my my hand mixer, but you probably would prefer to use your stand-up because there is a lot of mixing with this recipe, and I find that the stand-up you would probably prefer. But due to the video, I'm going to use my my hand mixer. So just break up your butter, and once you do that, you're going to start slowly putting in 2 cups of granulated sugar. And you want to beat this till it becomes extremely smooth. And that could take you up to 4 to even 6 minutes to do that. I'm going to move it along due to the video, but I do find that the longer that I beat it, the texture of the pound cake tends to come up lighter. So I just, again, adding those 2 cups of granulated sugar on high speed. That's the rest of my sugar. And the next thing you're going to start putting in, now once you see that this has all come together and it's quite smooth, then you'll know to start putting in your egg yolks. And what you're going to do is put in 4 egg yolks. One of my egg yolks is broken, so it doesn't look like I'm putting in 4, but I am. And again, on high, just start beating them in, and the smoother the better. Another one I put in, and the last one, and that was 4 egg yolks. I want to get the rest of it out of my bowl. And then again on high speed, just start blending those together. The next thing that you're going to add is 4 eggs. And we'll do the same thing. We'll put in 1 at a time. Once you start putting in the eggs, you really start to see by beating this how smooth the texture and light it becomes. And we're going to add another one in there. And our 4th. Now that's probably going to seem like you'll feel that's a lot of eggs, but when you actually bake this recipe and try these, you're gonna see the difference. It's not your really traditional pound cake. And this is what we have so far. It's extremely light and fluffy and pale yellow at this point. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And beat that on high. Again, you do want to spend a total of about 6 minutes beating this all together so that it becomes extremely light and fluffy. show you what I have so far. It resembles so much of like a cake batter. You're gonna see that. Again, the longer you beat it, really the better. The next thing that we're gonna put in is all-purpose flour. And we're gonna put 3½ cups of all-purpose flour. And this is where I like to start beating it in, and I like to spend at least another 3 minutes beating this. Put a little bit more of my flour in. And I've got it at medium-high, otherwise I'll be showering myself with flour. You're going to be putting in salt, and you're going to be needing a ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm going to raise my speed up a little bit here. And again, just keep adding that flour and spend about 3 minutes doing that. It'll be well worth the time that you spend on this once you bake it and see. That's the rest of the flour. And again, from the total time when I add the flour to finish, it is about 3 minutes. But again, I want to move this along. And I want to make sure that I get to the bottom of that bowl and work those sides to get everything mixed in. Everything combined. And I'll show you what we have so far and what it looks like. And now it starts to resemble almost like a thick buttercream frosting. It's really a unique recipe, and it tastes so good. All right, the last thing that we're going to do, we're going to fold in with our spatula, or if you're using your spoon, is chocolate chips. I like to use the mini ones, but if you prefer to use the regular size, use one 12-ounce bag of your brand, whatever brand of chocolate chips. I like to use the minis, and I use actually about a cup and a half of the minis. And just, you know, fold the chips in till you feel they're nice and even into the batter. Just fold it in. And this is where it really does look like chocolate chip cookie dough. Now once you do that, what I'm going to be using today are these little mini loaf pans that I used a solid shortening and dusted with flour. You can grease your pans, whatever you prefer to use. Just make sure though that they are dusted after you grease them so that they'll easily pop out once you bake them. Now if you're going to use the little minis, I actually get 6 little mini pound cakes out of this recipe. You're going to bake them at 325 degrees, and these little minis are going to take you anywhere from 35 to even 45 minutes to bake. So, you know, do start checking them, you know, maybe around that 30 minutes or so, because as we know, all ovens do set up differently. Now, if you don't have the little mini pans as I do, then use 2 9x5 square loaf pans that you're used to using to making your pound cake. I like the little mini ones because I think they're very nice to give away for little gifts or things like that, or maybe you just want to take out one for 2 people. So it's really up to you if you want to make the 2 9x5s. Now if you're going to make the 2 9x5s, it is going to take you about 70 minutes, 60 to 70 minutes. Now on the little ones, again, it's going to be a shorter amount of time, and as I said, it could take 35 to 45 for the minis. And what I do is I just fill the little loaf pan about 1/3 of the way, and just make sure that it's evened out. You can even, if you prefer, fill them about halfway. If you feel that you have too much, you can always just take a spoon and take a little out. So anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2. And they'll look like that when you fill them. Now I have some that have baked up already, and I want to show you real quickly what they look like when they do come out. And this is what they'll look like, these cute little mini loaf chocolate chip pound cake. And then I'm going to cut into it to show you what they look like. And they're extremely light, but yet they have the texture of a really delicate pound cake. And then you have all your little chocolate chips in there. So what a great little recipe. I think you're going to like this one if you give it a try, and I hope you give it a try. Leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.